I wanted to make a short tutorial on how to make a GAGA pit and how to make a GAGA pit that you could take apart and transport it. So I'm just going to explain how I did it. There's probably a bunch of different ways to build it, but I put some thought into it, and I'm making it in a way that it is small enough to take apart and put it in the back of a small truck and take it different places, and also how to save materials. So my GAGA pit is 2.5 feet tall. It has 8 sides, as all GAGA pits should have, and they are 6 feet long. So you end up with a not the biggest GAGA pit, but one that you can put in your gym, or you can use it outside or whatever. But it's a good size. You can have a pretty good game with that. So what I did, I'm gonna flip this around. I went to the hardware store and I bought 16 12-foot long 1x6 treated boards. You have absolutely no waste in this. I cut them all in half in 6-foot sections, so I ended up with 32 of those. I got a small bottle of indoor-outdoor wood glue, and I bought 18 hinges. I only needed 16, but they come in 3-packs, so I had to do the math. And then I bought a small box of 1 1/4 decking screws with the hex head. Please don't waste your time getting Phillips head screws. The hex head will save you a ton of headache. After I cut all the boards into 6-foot sections, you are going to need 3 6-foot boards for each wall and 2 2.5-foot boards for each wall. So I went ahead and cut a couple of those. This is what one section ends up looking like. So you have 3 horizontal boards that are 6 feet long and 2 vertical boards that are 2.5 feet tall. So you're gonna lay your boards out. You're gonna put one across the top. You're gonna put your 2.5-foot boards down, and put 2 of those down, and then I have the other ones behind me. On the vertical board, I measured down 1 foot, drew a square line, and I'll show you what I did with that. So I made one without wood glue, and I've had to tighten the screws a couple times. After you let kids play in your GAGA pit for hundreds of hours, I figure wood glue would be a better idea. So you're gonna put an ample amount of wood glue at all your connecting points. And the reason I lay it out like this is now I can just set this on. And if you don't have anybody helping you, it's much easier to get it square. Slap. Also recommend using an impact driver. You won't break your wrist if something catches, and you can probably drive 200 or 300 screws in with the DeWalt 20 volt. Now before you get it square, you just want to put 1 screw in on each corner so that it would still be able to shift around and you can get it square. After you get the screw in each You put the center board on. You use your 1 foot mark. So on your last section that you build, you're gonna need a little gate for the kids to go in and out of. So I cut, you need 3 vertical boards on that one because you're going to have to support your middle board. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So I cut 2.5 feet, since these side vertical boards are 2.5 feet, I cut 2.5 feet off of one of my horizontal boards, and that's your top piece. I'll show you what I'm. So this is the section that has the little doorway. So what I do to save wood, I'm a big believer of saving wood, not throwing away a bunch. This middle piece needs to be 2.5 feet, just like these other 2 vertical pieces. So I cut 2.5 feet off of the top board, and then whatever I have left, we'll make that section, and then kids can come in and out of the GAGA pit right there without tripping and climbing on your wall and breaking it. On this section, since it doesn't have the top piece, I'm using 3 hinges. Since I bought 18 and I only need 16, I can put 3 sections. Now, when you're transporting the GAGA pit, you don't have to take every section apart. This folds right in half. Let me see if I can do it. Using the hinges, it folds right in half and then makes little 6-foot sections doubled up. And that's why we use hinges.